Okay, folks, this is Ranto Announces once again. I'm here to announce that I'm planning on having a web series, Ranto's Unified Field Theory. I'm going to attempt to explain in simple terms how all the fundamental forces and particles interact in a way that makes sense and gives us the opportunity for great things like gravity propulsion and fusion in smaller reactors, making things much better for life here on Earth. We're going to give that a shot, and hopefully everything works out such that I can complete this series. I'm going to start with talking about how there have been great scientific minds throughout our history, and many of them have been looked upon in a different light than they probably should have. Like, for example, the time of Archimedes and Plato. Plato had the concept that there were four essential elements or four basic elements: earth, air, fire, and water. If you look at it and look at the terminology and what have you, I would profess that rather than dismissing them as not having the same concept on elements, they phrased things in the wrong way and didn't realize what they were talking about were the four states of matter: earth, solid; air, gas; fire, plasma; water, liquid. So in that respect, I consider it a very wise epiphany as a way to look at things. It was not really accurate, but for the time, it was progressive, without a doubt. Continuing on, I'll reference things such as that through my Unified Field Theory series, and I'm going to do my best to ensure that it is relatively comprehensible by the bulk of the populace. The reality is, Unified Field Theory isn't that complex. A lot of it's more of a way of looking at things, and if I can get the point across to people to look at things in this particular way, they'll find that a lot of things that seem mysterious become explained. And I hope we have fun with it. Also, with that in mind, given that these days I'm basically living in a basement bedroom, I have kind of become the character from Real Genius, Laszlo Holyfeld. And I have a great deal of respect for Jonathan Francis Grace and the makers of the movie Real Genius. And if I utilize that characterization for my web series, Ranto's Unified Field Theory, it may become Laszlo's Unified Field Theory rather than Ranto. But this is just kind of a quick preface to make the point that I believe that I can explain why all the forces are basically just one of the forces expanded and utilized, and how the forces come about as a result of magnetism. Combination of I'll explain how the strong force, the weak force, magnetism, and gravity can all be combined into just magnetism. I will throughout this, it will also explain why it's so elusive to actually verify the presence of a neutron. It's so elusive because neutrons don't exist. Neutrons, what we call neutrons, is the observed artifact that results from a combination of proton-electron pairs that are put together in a nucleus, in addition, such that the nucleus can be stable with a positive net result. The combination of proton-electron pairs with the addition of protons can exist in nature. That's one of the fundamental components of Ranto or Laszlo's unified field theory. In a way, I'm kind of giving this to the populace as, I wouldn't say it's an actual doctoral thesis, and one of the problems are that I'm not physically capable of performing the proofs. When I say physically, I'm mentally capable. I can explain how to create the diagrams and how to assemble the equations. I just can't physically do that work. So I'm going to probably need assistance from others just to accomplish it by the end of the series. So with that in mind, I'm disabled, so it's terrible. But I plan on giving this to the human race because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be alive, and I do want humans to have it. I don't necessarily want oppressive governments to have it. So with the way things are going in our current government here in the United States, if the government doesn't get on the path of protecting the goals and ideals of the Founding Fathers and the Declaration of Independence, then I will only release it publicly. I won't give the U.S. government the opportunity to have sole access to it, I think is the way to say it. I believe this would be very beneficial for NASA, SpaceX, etc., the power industry, and it has so many far-reaching ramifications that it's really impossible for me to even think of all of them, and it's not really effective for me to do so. It would take too long. Basically, this is pretty serious stuff. So I hope everybody has a good day. I hope everybody enjoys the web series Unified Field Theory by Ranto.